All right, everybody. Welcome to the party. We got one print over here printing. We're going to be doing the same plate that's on this ender. I just got the replacement plate in today. We're going to remove our old icky plate. So this was ordered off of eBay. I think it was $10.99. I'm gonna pull off that sheet. So what we're gonna do is we've got our acetone for removing the rest of the adhesive on this. Move that up there. You can see that's all sliding. This is all gonna get jacked up level wise. You can see we got the old GoPro running here as well. So the heat of this bed, of course, is we got to heat it up to 160 C. So go to control and go to the bed, and we're going to set it to 65 C. 68. It's going to be close enough. Nice thing about this is how fast it warms up. This bed was of course, this is my first printer like this. Mind you, I haven't even heated it up yet. I can feel the heat already coming out of it, and this is how easy this is coming up. If you look right here, I don't know how well it shows up. You can see how many times that print nozzle had been pressed into this sheet, and right here and right here, and I've got, you know, a couple gouges, nothing major, but once I knew that this sheet right here was available, and I really like it because it's just easier to pull off, and then you warp it a little bit and the print pops right off, and you're not sitting here, you know, oh, come on, get the hell off, and then your bed's out of whack, and now you have to re-level your bed because you can see that movement. And this bed is already warming up nicely. Not that this takes much to pull this off, but you know, I was lucky. I got one of the enders with a level bed. Sorry, not a level bed, but there, not even up to full temp. We're only at 53 degrees C. There's that fake build tack coming right off. Now the next part I hear is a lot of fun is the adhesive, and I hear that's a lot of fun to pull off. This is probably the most difficult part, they said, and I think the reason they said it was difficult was because the bed is hot and it's hard to touch it. I mean, this will be a good test for your bed leveling skills. All right. It'll be fun to have double video on this because we'll have the being that this is my first ender, it has certain things that have not been upgraded on it. One, I haven't done the stepper dampers, or the little dampers in there. Haven't done that yet. That is really sticky. I thought I'd have to use my little pliers and yank and pull on that, but I guess not. So let's see how hard it's going to be to clean off this adhesive. And hopefully it's not going to be too bad. This acetone is not working. I heard somebody say they used mineral spirits, but I also heard if you just pour it on there, ooh, I think we're going to turn off the bed temp. Yeah. Let's go to controls, temperature, bed, and just turn that off. Better yet, let's just turn off the whole thing. Oh yeah. There we go. You can see it's starting to make these kind of googly, schmoogly, icky stuff. Gross. Kind of like a, I wouldn't say tapioca, but damn. Get this all cleaned up. So I guess we just let it do its thing. Get it nice and saturated. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's working like a charm. It's turning into like a gel. Huh. Cute. Gross gel. So I guess what we do is with the acetone, we just rub it on and let it start to gelatinize the rest of the connection of that, just laying it on there and then just scraping it off. It's actually a fairly, once you just let it sit a little bit, it's actually not too bad. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. So now we just got to repeat this whole process all over. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a napkin and then lay it over the top of this paper towel, maybe, and maybe that'll help get that saturation in there a little better. I'm just so you know, when I'm 3D printing over here, I watched forget what his name is. I watch his channel occasionally, but I'm not super familiar with the guy's name. And he showed this really cool filament holder that actually has ball bearings in it that allows the spool to run or roll with less friction. So I thought I'd give it a whirl. Like this big boy over here, it's got this weird internal and it keeps moving over. This one weighs a lot, that big run of black. And then this is the multicolor. So let me squirt a little more on this. And then I'm gonna go grab a paper towel. See what that does. Because of course now we turned off the heat. Yeah, that's gelting up really nice. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a paper towel. A little paper towel action. Of course, being in a nice, well-ventilated area is a good idea, especially when you're working with acetone. You don't want to say what my daughter used to say whenever we used to work with stuff. It's pretty funny. One time we were in the garage, we were working on stuff, and she said, what did she say? She said, belly face. And we were working with a contact cement, like barge. And so when whenever we talk about funny smells and stuff like that, my daughter and I always joke about belly face. We were working on a mask, and she held the mask up to her face or to her belly and said belly face. I thought it was pretty funny. But of course we were huffing glue at that time in the garage, so no big surprise there. Whew, this is fun. The acetone keeps evaporating. I guess mineral spirits would have been even better too, but just keep rubbing it until we keep removing that sticky layer. Get it started, and it evaporates pretty quickly. So, and it looks like our paper towel is just... Beautiful thing about doing video is that I can just edit my voice out of this, and I can just do a voiceover, and I'll look even smarter and, you know, more capable. This will be pretty awesome. But a lot of this stuff, what I like to do is just like what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it. Think about it all day, going, okay, what kind of video do I want to do? How do I want to... And, you know, either people are afraid to express themselves on camera. I am no expert, that's for sure. It was kind of cool. I was watching a guy remove the bed, but he used this really expensive polycarbonate bed that was designed for some other printer. I'm not sure what the printer was, but I was like, wow, I was planning to do this video anyways, and then the guy's all pulling the bed off, and he had the first ender like me, like this one. Or what? I wouldn't say it's the first ender. I know a couple people that, a couple YouTubers that had gotten one of the early release enders, where the drive wheels were really screwed up for the bed, and the oops, don't want to move that. The drive wheels were all messed up on the bed, and so that you couldn't, because they were like in a triangular pattern, and so they had that structure that's under here where you couldn't actually put tension on the wheels, and so you couldn't actually make this run really smoothly. And they I guess because it only had 3 wheels on the bottom, so Creality changed that. And that's kind of the cool thing about this whole industry, is the fact that they're putting out printers that are really not ready to they're not ready for the market, but there's so many people willing to put up with a half-built printer that they will put it out there, and pretty much the community will be so ready and so willing, and they actually make a good, you know, a good platform, that the corrections that Creality does. And I think that's what the CR10X was all about, that dual filament, where you can print with 2 filaments, which I thought was really kind of cool. I just thought the price point was a little high and ridiculous for something that I don't need. I use my printer for making stamps for my leather work, and it doesn't really matter what color filament I'm using. It doesn't really matter any of that. It just matters that the PLA that I'm working with is strong enough to be put into a hydraulic press. That's it. Man, this is a sticky mess. Yeah, if you can get one of the newer enders and not have to put up with this, I say do it, because this cleanup just is not any fun. It's like a weird gel. Let's see if we can't get some more of this damp paper towel action going. There we go. Nice and heavy saturation. Yeah, Angus from Maker's Muse, if you've never watched his channel, I really recommend it. He's a really good 3D printer. channel, Maker's Muse. Angus, when he got like the very first Ender that was released from Creality, and he had a lot of problems with his Ender. He was not a big proponent, a big supporter of it initially, and he actually had this whole thing about how companies can actually release a printer that is not ready for market, but they can release it 6 months to a year before it needs to be released, or when it should be released, because they know that the market's going to repair, fix it. And he actually had his entire bed got ripped off. He was leveling it, and the print head came by, grabbed the edge of the fake build tack, and just shredded it. I mean, just pulled it right off. And he was having a lot of problems with the 3 wheels under the bed, because you couldn't put proper tension on it. And so he was having a lot of problems with that. And he, I don't know if he ever got that solved, or if Creality finally got him one. I would think that he is has such a huge following on YouTube and the 3D printing market, or community as a whole, that I would have thought that Creality would have, they got him an early machine. I think that Creality would probably have gone out of their way to correct the problem. But never know. Never know. I don't think I'll ever be that level. I love putting out videos, because the more human of a face that we can put on the industry, the better. And when you see me not knowing what I'm doing or how I do it or how to do it right, and I'm just watching other people and then, kind of making mirror content for it, it's awesome. I tell all my coworkers that if you want to do your kids a favor, get them a 3D printer. And really, all its excuse is for an adult male to get a very cool device, and you can justify it, telling your wife or your partner, hey, if I get this, I'm really helping my kids. The kids will learn, they'll be better in school, and I'm doing it for the children. Remember, that's why we're here. We're here for the kids. Guess I'm kind of blocking the GoPro here. Do it for the kids. Get a 3D printer, because your kids will love it. And then you send them to GearBest, and you tell them, look, you can go to Amazon, buy an Ender 3 for about $200 shipped to your door. Or you can go to GearBest, get it a little cheaper. Takes 3-4 weeks to get to you, but especially if you're budget minded. Also, when you do this in real time, and I'm not speeding it up, and you're not seeing jump cuts, it helps, I think, makers and builders and designers to see the real process. This is how I really did it. This is how I really pulled my fake build tack off. This is how, this is how the professionals do it, which is great. Been having a lot of fun doing the 3D printer time-lapse lately. And I've been printing those vases, which I know is nothing new. I know everybody has been printing the vase mode from, in Cura forever. And there's nothing new I'm doing in that, but it's still fun. Still fun to have a time-lapse video and get some funky music going to it and having fun, because that's what it's all about. This keeps me sane, getting to come home and plan out a build and ask my wife, hey, is there anything that you need printed? Can I make you something? Can I go into Tinkercad and design something for you? And I have a build coming up. It'll be done for Halloween, and it's of a little 3D printed dinosaur called Boone from 3D Kit Bash. And 3D Kit Bash is great. They make some really fabulous, well-designed models. And you can get the Boone model, and he's all opposable little T-Rex little guy. A lot of fun with him. And I've already printed about 100 hours worth of green PLA with him. And I plan to have a nice cool build video of him, so you can see. Look at that. Look at that, Mr. GoPro. Oh yeah. It'll be fun to have two camera views on this. You'll have the up close and then you'll have your distance, which will be kind of fun. Except this stuff is very sticky. We're gonna have to grab another t-shirt here. That's gonna work. Got a t-shirt with a whole bunch of paint all over it. I think I can get this one to work. It's just got lots of stickum on it. It's that last little corner there. Really, the last thing you want to have on here is any of this sticky residue, because your new build tack is going to get stuck to it and not want to come off, and then you're going to unlevel your bed. All right. My putty knife is completely covered. I haven't been able to find any videos of anybody actually. Well, I think Angus did, but he didn't really explain how he cleaned it or what chemicals they used to clean it. Well, that's pretty good so far. I'm just making a sticky mess of this. See if we can't turn that inside out and get a nice clean section here. Hopefully well, I'm on the Ender, Facebook Ender support page. And nice group. Nobody's gotten too uppity, which is really nice. You know, it's not about what you know, it's how well you can share it. And, you know, let's share our skills. You're not doing anybody favors by trying to hoard your skills. Share them. Teach other people. If you feel that that your skills make you better, it's really sad then that you're not willing to share those skills with other people. and that's kind of my thing. I spend hours upon hours in a week watching YouTube videos, watching people make things, and I feel really fortunate that I was able to find that person and you know, gain some knowledge from what they've learned. And that little corner right there is basically our stubborn bit. It just does not want to give up the ghost. All right, that solved its problem. Got a little bit here, right in front of the GoPro, but there you have it. Got a little goober of it there. Voila. I like it. Got a little bit of hairspray on the on my screen over here. That's not good. Probably jack that up. Who knows? See how bad it looks. I can't really tell either way. Okay. Still a little sticky there. So we just got to get myself clean. Because that adhesive now is all over my hands, and even if I was wearing gloves, man, it would have ripped the gloves right off of me. Mineral spirits might have worked too if I had it, but don't look like I had mineral spirits. Might have been able to raid my wife's paint set. Find some. All right. Now, this build plate that I have is thicker. I think it's I don't know, I didn't take my micrometer out yet and actually look at it, but it looks like it's 2 to 3, probably 2 millimeters thick, maybe 3 millimeters thick. So I know my bed level is not going to be on. I snipped off the little, there's a little nub break on this that prevents this run stop switch, or this, to actually not go any lower, and I actually cut that little piece off, made it lower, and then I tightened up my screws and so that I compressed the springs on this unit so that we could level the bed and get it closer so that it didn't shake so much. So I'm probably, knowing that this, what bed level this is at, and I got to get some of my spring clips out too. Do a quick test here. I was going to do a piece of glass, a mirror, sorry. Bought a piece of mirror, and because I was having a hell of a time getting the so we got these little itty bitty clips. So this is the one from over there. It's a little bigger, a little smaller. I wonder if we've got a mid-size. That looks pretty close. Let's see if the little ones will work. I don't know. I think this is maybe a little too much. Oh no, that'll work perfect. Yeah. So we got the tiniest little spring clips. Got to get used to this. So that works out great. Look at those little guys. See how tiny that is? Oh, can you see that? Wow. So there's the little spring clip. I will leave the eBay link when I post this video up. I'll leave the eBay link to where this build tack is, or this replacement sheet is, so that if you want to order it, you can. I'm not. I mean, so far it looks exactly the same as that sheet. So, you know, if somebody's making knockoffs, well, good on you, mate, because you did a damn fine job on your knockoff. So, let's bring this down a bit and see how close we're to hitting. Oh yeah, we're hitting bad. Big time. Ooh, gnarly. Yeah. Okay, wow. That side is hugely out of whack. Of course, this side is too. So we'll do a cold calibration, and then we'll do a warm calibration. I've had a couple of my Ender friends, colleagues, ask about bed leveling and getting the BL Touch or the other systems for leveling and leveling your bed. And at first I was all like on board with it, because I was like, yeah, and you know, updating the system to the Marlin firmware and all that fun stuff, which I wasn't too excited about myself, because I was like, well, why screw with something that ain't broke? So, I would just leave, let it be. And then I started doing this more often, and I noticed that I wasn't having a problem leveling my bed. It was actually pretty easy leveling it. And so why spend, what is it, $40-50 to get a auto bed leveling system put in? I don't think you really need to do it. I think if you can hone your skills on leveling these things, I think that you're going to be far happier with your skill set, because you're going to be just more confident. So I always level my bed with a sheet of paper, preferably a clean sheet of paper, which it doesn't even look like I have any of those. So I'm going to grab a new piece of paper. And what I always do is that I always, oh, there it is. We got a clean one right here on the floor. I always go in, I home, automatically go to the home, ask it to find where it's at, where, and then go in and level the bed. And we're like way off of home. Like crazy off. Oh, there we go. All right. There we go. So then what you do is you go back in. This is the way I do it. You go into prepare, move access, use 1 millimeter movement. Gonna go to X, we're gonna move it over. Get it over the screw head as best you can. Take your paper, drop it in there. Start moving your bed up until you finally, until it finally starts to catch. Then I repeat this entire process when the system is hot. And I think if you do that, make sure that you're not touching this rail, because a lot of times you put pressure on that rail and you don't even realize you're putting pressure on that rail, and you're changing that. And I used to go around and around and around, so just touching right there. And if you're fast enough, you can get back to it before the screen drops you back out. I did notice that the firmware on this unit is much slower than the firmware on my new one. So now we have temporary. There it is. Boom. We've got the Capricorn upgraded tube. I still haven't upgraded my PTF connectors. I ordered the wrong ones before, and so the thread was the incorrect thread pitch and they were too small. So I have like 10 of those. Those are going to go into the dry box kits that I'm building. I'll have a video out on that shortly. Hey, thanks for being part of this. Looks like we're about 39 minutes in, so it's a nice little chunk of time. I'm going to get this little bad boy edited up and posted. Thanks again for being here. Please like and share, and I'll see you next time. Night.